Hey players, it's time to grab your tea and have a seat. Let's discuss politics, crime, celebrity gossip, investigative reporting. Welcome to The Real Tea with Double D on GSMC Podcasting Network, where I am black and the news is always petty as hell, but it's accurate.
Welcome to a brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D. Of course, I am Double D, and we are on the GSMC Podcasting Network. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode. Listen, your girl Double D wasn't here last week, honey. She really took a break, although I shouldn't have, but I went ahead and did that. So I thank y'all for riding and flying with me every single day, though. Y'all been really keeping up with me, keeping up with the tea, and it has been a lot. It has been a lot. It's been a lot going on, honey. So I appreciate all of y'all following me out there, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and podcasting world. It's been a day, hadn't it? Y'all know how I start this off every single time, honey. It has been a day, but y'all go ahead and grab y'all teacups, honey, because we got a lot to get into. Remember, out there in YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok world, I won't be able to interact with you as much as I would love to because I am recording this for my podcast, and it is unfair. They cannot see us, but they can hear everything. So me looking at your comments and all that stuff, it can be distracting, but I really do appreciate y'all. Make sure you talk amongst yourselves. Definitely leave those comments because I do go back and read them and comment back to you guys. So, and I thank y'all so much for being here out there in Facebook, YouTube, and podcasting world every single week, every single Wednesday. Y'all ride and fly with me. Thank y'all out there in podcasting world for downloading. Hey, y'all made it do what it do last month, honey. Y'all really did. Y'all gave me a really good month indeed, and I really want to go ahead and surpass that this month. So keep on downloading, keep on enjoying, baby, because I'm enjoying being with you. Now, y'all go ahead and grab y'all tea and have a seat, honey, because I know what y'all here for. And we're going to go ahead and speak a little bit about Carlee Russell. So y'all go ahead and grab y'all tea and have a seat. Let's get into it. Y'all, now you know I just took a sip of this water because it's just water in this cup and it got entangled in my throat. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. But I'm back now. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, baby, Carlee, this whole entire situation, I declare, honey, it's so very sad, honey. It's really very sad to see that it's looking like this may have been a hoax, honey. It's really looking like this may have been a hoax. At least according to the Hoover Police Department, honey, they have absolutely no evidence to indicate that there was an actual abductor and Carlee Russell was actually taken, honey. All of the evidence is pointing to Carlee Russell may have possibly faked this situation. Now, and it looks like from the way the evidence is leading from the Hoover Police Department that it may have been planned. It seems as if starting on July 11th, which was my birthday, honey, in the wee hours of the morning when I was deep in my slumber, Carlee Russell was up searching up movies. She was up searching up Amber Alerts and all kind of old stuff, honey. She was really getting into it indeed, and I really hate to hear it. It is really saddening, and it's also, a lot of people been having conversations, honey, and it's like it's almost a detriment to the Black community what has been done, because at the end of the day, honey, whenever Black women or girls or I'm going to say BIPOC, I'm going to go to people of color come up missing, honey, it is very rare that we get the type of attention that we deserve, the type of attention that Carlee Russell basically, if this is true, that she faked it, she basically squandered. People are wondering if there is going to be the same attention given to people, Black people, and also BIPOC people in the BIPOC. People in the BIPOC community, if they are going to be given the same attention because of what Carlee has done. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you, honey. It gives me pause. It really does, because it's been a long time coming for us to get the type of attention that we saw on Carlee Russell, honey. It was almost like Gabby Petito, because every national news organization was covering it, baby. I even seen it on 4 News. So y'all know, honey, it takes a lot for us to get that type of attention, and then for someone to receive that type of attention and it not be true. It's very unbecoming, and it's very sad. And I just really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about this. I really hope that if she did fake this, and even if she didn't fake this, she gets the help that she needs. And players fuck up. You know what I'm saying? People fuck up. She's gonna have to be held accountable for this. If she did fake it, she's the one who's gonna have to be held accountable, not all of us. But at the end of the day, honey, she's 25 years old. She may get to 35, and people, tend to forget. 2 weeks from now, we won't even be talking about no damn Carlee Russell, especially if they go ahead and say definitively that she faked this. 2 weeks from now, it'll be moved on to another story. So if she, Sherry Papini in California, and I'm going to reference that case, she was actually held accountable for this. Now, it took a couple of years for her to be held accountable for what she did, where she faked her own kidnapping. She actually dropped her phone, similar to Carlee, left it in the grass, and then went on by her way, had her ex-boyfriend pick her up for a whole, I believe it was like a month or a month and a half. She was chilling and in another with a ex-boyfriend. She was chilling with him. She starved herself, she branded herself, she beat herself. At least that's according to the boyfriend. She beat herself. He said he didn't put his hands on her. And then she ended up coming back, I believe it was Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving, and said that she was kidnapped. Now, it took a while for the police to go ahead and solve that case, but I'm gonna tell you what's different about her case and Carlee's case. Almost immediately after she was found, after she came back, after Sheriff Papini came back, a description was given of the suspect. Now, we had to wait a while to get, we had to wait. We have no description of a suspect. That's what was different in this case, and that's what was giving a lot of people pause, because immediately after she was found, there was no description of a suspect. But in Sheriff Papini's case, she described some Hispanic people, which was absolutely ridiculous. They did a lot of searches, and now she's in jail. She's in prison for committing that crime. I believe she got like a couple of years sentence or something like that. Sherry Papini did, and she's also made to pay back all that money that she she got 18 months, and she also had to pay back all that money, which was the resources that were used to look for her. Now, if we're going by what the police were saying today in reference to Carlee Russell, they are not even looking in that direction as of right now, as how much resources were taken. Were used to actually look for her. They don't even know how many man hours, how much money was. The police may not be looking into it, but that doesn't mean that the district attorney isn't looking into it. So what we found out today, and I want to briefly go over this because I got several videos on my page, is that the Hoover Police Department, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you. This man in this purple, pinkish looking jacket, baby, he was sending me because I just thought that jacket was the cutest thing I ever seen, and I typically don't see that in these type of cases. But anyway, he came out and he basically said that they have no indication that anyone was taken, that Carlee Russell was taken. They have absolutely nothing to prove that. He said that Carlee Russell, on the day that this happened, a couple of days before, a few days before, she started searching up bus tickets. She started searching up Amber Alerts on her phone. She started searching bus tickets to Tennessee. I would really love to know who she was thinking about going to see in Tennessee. That's a question that I'm pretty sure everybody has. And he also stated that she was looking up, I said that about Amber Alerts. And then that day she went to work. She took some things from her job. She took a robe and a roll of tissue, and she left her job and went to a restaurant, got something to eat. And then she went over to Target, where she brought some snack type items like granola bars and Cheez-Its. She then got in her car. She sat in the parking lot of that shopping center for a little while. And then she headed on back to she headed on to the interstate toward home. Now, what's going to be interesting to me is to see if they didn't indicate this, and this is a question that I would have asked if I would have been at that press conference. Was she talking to anybody besides when she called the brother's girlfriend in between time? Like, did she talk to anybody when she was sitting in that parking lot? They may be withholding that information from us. They may say this is a part of the ongoing investigation, but I would really like to know if she was talking to anybody. Who was she communicating with, texting with, or anything like that? So when she got on the interstate, she went ahead and called 911 and said that there was a toddler with a white t-shirt on and a diaper on the side of the highway. She claimed that she had stopped her vehicle. She could see the child, but she hadn't got out of the vehicle. She stated that she would stay with the child until someone got there. And then for some reason, 911 hung up the phone. They hung up the phone. And then according to the family and according to the statement that was given by Carlee's mother, she called the sister-in-law and then her brother's girlfriend. And I guess at that point, if it's true, she decided to approach this toddler. And at that point, the person on the phone heard screaming, and then the only thing they heard was background noise. Well, according to the police officers, they arrived like 5 minutes after the 911 call was made. They went to this up to the scene. They didn't see Carlee. The only thing they saw was the phone, and her purse was still in there. The car was still running. The door was open, and of course, I giggle every time I hear this, the wig, honey, because the way my wig is set up right now, if I shake my head the wrong way, it's gonna fall off. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you. That's something there. So the wig was there on the ground. So they started searching for her immediately, according to the police. When Carlee got back home, she arrived back home on foot. When they called 911, whoever called 911 stated that she was unresponsive, but they saw her walking through the neighborhood through people's ring bell alarms and stuff. They saw her just walking through the neighborhood, walking back home. And they stated that the 911 when the fire department got there, she was responsive. She had a little cut on her lip or whatnot. So they transported her. And this is what they stated that she said to the police.
Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her.
I find that so interesting. A lot of people have been trying to talk bad about this police department. But in my opinion, they have given a lot of grace in this situation. This is my sentiments regarding them coming out today. I feel like they were given no choice but to come out. I think they were given no choice because Carlee's mother made a statement yesterday. That's what I think. And she stated that there was an abductor, that abductors are still out there. It was definitely a public safety issue when you have someone on national television saying that someone was kidnapped and an abductor is still out there. And also we have to think about the child aspect of this. The fact that they say that they were giving her time to rest, the fact that they haven't gotten her statement and she was recovered on Sunday and it is now Wednesday, and they haven't just made her speak, especially since they have all this evidence that indicate that she wasn't telling the truth. I don't think that we need to bash this police department at this point, because in my opinion, they've given a lot of grace in this situation, especially in other situations where we have seen people get treated so horribly by the police. If they even they're not treated as if they're innocent until proven guilty. And even though this police department has compiled all of this evidence that leads to her doing this, they still said, hey, we're going to respect the family and not give out what her other searches were on her phone. Hey, we're going to respect the family and step back and say, oh, we're not going to get a statement from her. We're going to let her come to us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in my opinion, they didn't have to do all that, because they really could compel her to speak at this point, because the way this evidence is leading, the district attorney could have issued a warrant for her arrest at this point. I'm just gonna keep it a stack. Y'all know with Double D, I'm not gonna lie to you. The district attorney, with the evidence that they have, they could very well issue a warrant for her arrest at this point for making false statements to the police, because they know there was no toddler out there. They also know that she couldn't have been trapped in the back of a 18-wheeler and escaped. How did you get out? You can only open the back of a trailer from the outside. You can't open it from the inside. So there's a lot of things here. So a lot of people have been saying, oh, the police are fucked up, all this kind of stuff. I don't agree with those sentiments. I feel like this police department, they gave her a lot of grace that she probably wouldn't see in other places. If she'd been in Florida, and I'm really surprised to see that in Alabama, but that's just my sentiments. Really want to hear yours, so run it up in the comments. But anyway, so they stated that they have not gotten a full statement from Carlee. They're waiting for a full statement from her. And baby, that's basically it at this point. That's all we're going to get. We have not heard anything from Carlee and her family. Someone put in the comments about the money. There was $63,000 that was raised. Now, $20,000 of that money was given by an anonymous donor. Now, this was to Crime Stoppers. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying here. This was not from a GoFundMe. If you gave money to a GoFundMe, you fucked up, because you need to go try to get your money back, because there was no GoFundMe. Okay. They never put a GoFundMe out, even after she came back or reappeared. They never put out a GoFundMe. So there was $63,000 that was raised through Crime Stoppers. Okay. 5,000 of that was basically Crime Stopper money. I'm pretty sure they'll put that back in the pot. $20,000 of that came from an anonymous donor, and the rest came from public donations. Now, they said at first, after she was found, and it was an attempt, not found, but after she reappeared, they said that they were going to go ahead and refund that money, but they came back and said that they won't be refunding the money because the investigation is still ongoing. But it doesn't mean you won't get your money back in the future. It just means that you're going to get it back later. I didn't donate that much. I mean, I didn't. So I'm not really crying whether I get it back or not. They can actually take mine and put it in the pot. But I did donate a little piece of change. It wasn't that much, honey. $20. That was it. But yeah, I did donate for that. And as of right now, they're not issuing any refunds regarding that. So they said, I guess they'll get to, I guess they'll do it once the investigation is closed. But right now, Crime Stoppers released another statement saying that the investigation is still ongoing, and due to that, they won't be refunding any money. I don't know what the reason is behind that. They didn't give any reason. So somebody asked about that in the comments. I thought I'd address it really quickly. But anyway, this is a very bad situation. I'm hoping that Carlee gets whatever help she needs, no matter what the circumstances are. I'm hoping that she goes and gives her statement to the police. Her parents need to hire her attorney. As far as their body language when they were on the Today Show, I have nothing to offer regarding that because I'm not a body expert. I'm not a body language expert, but a lot of people are saying that they looked a little sus. I mean, let me see how I can say this. A lot of resources were put into looking for Carlee Russell. Angela Harris, who was the mother of Anaya Blanchard, actually came out to look for Carlee. Anaya Blanchard was kidnapped and murdered. I think that if she did fake this, she's going to have to be held accountable for that. That's what I think. I'm hoping that it doesn't change the way Black women and BIPOC women are covered when they go missing. We'll just have to wait and see what comes out in the Washington arrangement. But when you have a situation like this, a lot of things change. That girl was able to she figured out a way to be declared missing before the 48-hour mark, which would have been what it would have been. She would have had to be missing for 48 hours before she was even, you know what I'm saying? Before she was even declared and considered missing. She figured out a way to be declared missing right away. It's crazy. It's unprecedented. And she's going to have to be held accountable for that. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. You can't do things like that and not be held accountable. At the end of the day, you have to be held accountable. No matter what your race, color, creed is, you have to be held accountable. She should not have done that. But people make mistakes. That doesn't mean they can't learn from them. That doesn't mean that they can't grow from them. That doesn't mean that they can't pick up the pieces. And I fucked up years ago. Look at me now. I'm fine. Things happen, but she's gonna have to be held accountable for that. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat because I wasn't even intending on talking about that long. Let's go ahead and get into Travis King, who is the Army private that is now in North Korea. He crossed over the North Korean border intentionally, and now he's being held by authorities there. Y'all grab that tea. Let's talk about it. All right, players. So let's discuss this Travis King over in North Korea. He's a 23-year-old private. He's been in the military since 2021. I'm trying to find this picture, and I know I have it. Oh, I'm going to be upset if I don't have it. Oh, Double D, don't do that. Oh, no. I could have sworn. Oh, there he is. I'm sorry. Travis King, 23-year-old Army private. He's been in the military in the Army since 2021, and he crossed over into North Korea on Tuesday. According to reports, honey, he crossed over into North Korea, and now he's being held by authorities there. This is a horrible situation, and his parents say that he was grieving at the time, but now he's in North Korean custody. He enlisted in the Army in 2021. He crossed the heavily fortified border willfully, and without authorization. Although his motive for crossing and his state of mind when he departed the airport was unknown, there are few certainties in the aftermath. They have to negotiate with the Korean chair. I mean, this is going to be really, really bad. They say that this is technically a violation of the arms truce, so there would be a working level negotiation with regards to that, because it is an unauthorized crossing. It also becomes political right away with North Korea, because they will probably put this guy on trial, especially because he's a soldier. there could be some sort of coerced apology or claim of defection, but that could take weeks or months. Now, his family is pleading for him to be released. They said that he was not in his right state of mind when he crossed over. He was grieving the loss of a cousin, and he was struggling with his distance from home and acting unlike himself when he was acting unlike himself. Now, he had been arrested in South Korea. Now, he crossed over into North Korea, but he had been arrested in South Korea, and he had previously served some time for assaulting someone. So they said that he was acting out of character. He was actually on that day being transported back to the United States, where he was supposed to be facing a discharge from the Army because of the assault that happened and him having to serve time in the face disciplinary action and serve those 47 days for what he did. Y'all go ahead and take a listen to this, and I'll be right back.
A 23-year-old U.S. soldier in the hands of the North Koreans after officials say he intentionally and inexplicably bolted across the border at the DMZ, the heavily fortified demilitarized zone that separates North and South Korea.
We're closely monitoring and investigating the situation. I'm absolutely foremost concerned about the welfare of our troops.
The soldier, Army Private Travis King, was supposed to be on a flight back to Fort Bliss in Texas, where he was facing discharge from the Army after serving 47 days in a South Korean jail following an altercation with local citizens. Officials say that a military escort dropped King off at the airport in Seoul, but instead of boarding his flight, he left the airport and headed to the DMZ, where he joined a tour group before reportedly laughing and then dashing across the dividing line into the north.
So Travis King is now being held by North Korean authorities. Again, he was going back. They say he laughed. He actually blended into the crowd that was crossing over into North Korea, the ones that I guess are supposed to be going there. He tried to blend into the crowd there, and he ran right on through them and ran right on over. Now, we're waiting for surveillance footage. We don't have that as of yet. But I'm sending my love out to his family, man. I don't know what his state of mind was. They say he willingly crossed over, so we'll be waiting to see what that surveillance footage looks like, and I'll keep you guys updated on this. But this is horrible, and I really feel so sad for the family. Not sure what he was thinking, but they said he was grieving the loss of a cousin. But child, that's a mess. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab y'all tea and have a seat, because it's time for us to go ahead and talk about Musty to the Must Pot. Marjorie she showed Hunter Biden's nudes at the House committee meeting today. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. All right, players. So today at the House Ways and Means Committee had a hearing today where they were interviewing these two whistleblowers. These whistleblowers are back, and they're supposed to have all of this evidence that President Biden and about President Biden, the Biden crime family, and all this kind of stuff. But I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. The entire hearing was these whistleblowers saying things about taxes, Hunter Biden taxes, and they feel like how the IRS, the big wigs of the IRS, didn't do anything about this money. About Hunter Biden and these tax things. None of this led to President Biden. None of this led to him having anything to do with this, but it was all about Hunter Biden. So when it was Muspot's turn, she decided to whip out revenge porn. In my opinion, she whipped out Hunter Biden's nudes, and she said that he committed committed a violation against the Mann Act, is what she said. He committed a violation against the Mann Act. So by taking a a person that's paid to do the oochie coochie la 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 across state lines and doing the filthy McNasty with them, and then also that he used his law firm checking account or account to pay for it. Y'all check out Musty to the Must Pot Marjorie pulling this out, because when I tell you it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous.
So when Hunter Biden paid for this woman to do this with him, to travel across state lines from California to Washington, D.C. on June 15th, this is a violation of the Mann Act. This was prostitution. Also, Mr. Shapley.
Come on.
Mr. Chairman, we're 1 minute and 53 seconds over. As long as Ms. Ocasio-Cortez can get equal time, she can keep going.
I will let Ms. Greene wrap up 5 seconds, and then I'll give Mr. Maffume additional time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Shapley, you started an investigation into Hunter Biden, codenamed Sportsman, which opened in November of 2018. It was an offshoot of an investigation the IRS was conducting into a foreign-based amateur online pornography platform. This is evidence of Hunter Biden making sex. Excuse me, this is my time. Making pornography.
Should we be displaying this, Mr. Chairman, in the committee?
Gentlelady's time has expired and went 2.5 minutes over. If Mr. Maffume wants the 2.5 minutes, he can have it. If he wants to yield some to Ms. Ocasio-Cortez when she goes, she can have it. We'll make it right.
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Musspot is ridiculous and a hot boo shitty mess, and she likely enjoyed looking at that. That was definitely a violation to the Mann Act. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So again, this is what the GQP is doing down there at the House committee meeting in official business on national television, because this was streamed, showing Hunter Biden's nudes. And y'all, they had to quickly blur those, but y'all know they were all over Annalise Keaton's internet. I hope that Hunter Biden sues her. I know that this is not decorum. I know that she's not supposed to be doing this. This is exactly why her ass got kicked out from the House Freedom Caucus, and now she's down here doing more stuff. She is disgusting. And they were there for several hours. They were there for 6 hours. And these guys were making all of this. None of it made sense. And this is my sentiments. I'm going to agree with Mr. Garcia.
Today's hearing is like most of the majority's investigations and hearings. A lot of allegations, zero proof, no receipts, but apparently some dick pics. Now, at a certain point, the American people will need some actual evidence. Actual evidence. But we've seen absolutely none.
Not the D-pics. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Musty to the Must Pot Marjorie down there playing peekaboo with Hunter Biden's nudes. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. And AOC, baby, she hit back, baby, when they Musty to the Must Pot Marjorie up here talking about Hunter Biden paying for the ooey gooey, baby, and she had to go ahead and bring this up. And baby, I was pumping my fist in the air when she said this.
If the gentlelady from Georgia wanted to follow evidence, we should also take a look at hypothetically a case where sex trafficking charges against a 17-year-old girl potentially.
The gentlelady's time's expired.
Y'all know who she talking about. She talking about Joel Greenberg and the privileged pervert Matt Gaetz. Y'all know he was tied up in that old mess that was going on. Child, I declare, honey, what a disgrace. The Venmo and chill, Matt Gaetz, he definitely, they say he was down there paying for stuff. Now, he got away with that footloose and fancy free, so who is he paying down there at the FBI, honey? Who's coddling him at the Justice Department? I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So, baby, that happened at the House Ways and Means Committee hearing today. It was on national television. Kevin McCarthy has not issued a statement on loose leaf paper yet, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be asked about that. And y'all know I'm going to report on it. Y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat, honey, because it's time for us to move on to Frumpy to the motherfucking up. Hard players. So y'all remember when Frumpy dumped in the last days of his presidency, he actually just waited until the last day to issue his pardons. And you know it was alleged that people was actually paying for these pardons or whatever. They were saying that they cost $1 million. I think it was $1 million or $2 million a pop. So Frumpy Dump handed down, I believe it was like 30 or 40 pardons and commutations on his last day of office before he scurried on out of there. One of the persons that he pardons was this guy. Not this one, sorry. This guy. His name, he's from New Jersey, and his name is Eli Weinstein, okay? And he was convicted of defrauding investors on 2 separate occasions, resulting in combined losses of about $230 million. Now, he was sentenced to 24 years in prison. And like I said, Frumpy Dump went ahead and communed his sentence on his last day of prison. On his last day in office. So he has been out of jail. Y'all tell me why this man was arrested today again on conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to obstruct justice. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Yes, honey. Weinstein and four other men were charged today with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to obstruct justice over a scheme that the U.S. Attorney's Office said that began shortly after he was released from prison after Frumpy Dump pardoned him. I mean, within weeks, he was back to doing up to his fuck shit and up to his shenanigans. In my opinion, he must have didn't even stop. He probably was doing the scheme behind bars. So Weinstein allegedly used a fake name to conceal his identity and his criminal history as he raised money for a company called Optimus Investments that he ran with two of the other 4 men that were arrested. Most of the investors' money for Optimus came from a second company, Tyrant Management Group, that promised investors a lucrative opportunity to invest in deals involving COVID-19 masks, baby formula, and first aid kits for Ukraine. When some of the deals failed to turn profit, Weinstein and others allegedly used the fund from investors to pay earlier investors and mischaracterized the funds as investments returns. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. It was a Ponzi scheme. So the SEC is also bringing charges, that's the Security and Exchange Commission, against against Eli Weinstein and 5 others over the alleged scheme. Weinstein, along with 4 other individuals, have once again perpetrated a sophisticated fraud scheme causing losses of millions of dollars. He did so by using a fake name and falsely promising access to deals involving scarce medical supplies, baby formula, and first aid kits, supposedly destined for the wartime in Ukraine. These were brazen and sophisticated crimes that involved multiple conspirators and drew right from the Weinstein playbook of fraud. That is according to the U.S. Attorney Philip Selinger, Philip Selinger. That's what he said in a statement. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So he's headed back to prison. And it is damn ridiculous and a hot bullshitty mess. And Frumpy Dump commuted his 24-year sentence, even though he did over $230 million in fraud.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Frumpy Dump, I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat. We're moving on. Baby, I don't think there is another person in politics that gets sued more than Frumpy Dump and Ron DeSantis, and they just both happen to be candidates for the Republican nomination for president of the United States. Frumpy Dump gets sued all over the world. He's got lawsuits up the wazoo. He's got criminal cases. I mean, it's pretty damn ridiculous. So that's why him and Ron DeSantis are so interconnected with each other. I would swear that they were kindred spirits because they're constantly being sued, and it is damn ridiculous and a hot bullshitty mess. So Ron DeSantis is up to bat. It is time for him to be sued. The voting rights group has filed a lawsuit against Ron DeSantis over allegations of voter intimidation. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Florida Voting Rights Organization filed a lawsuit against Ron DeSantis and members of his administration and dozens of Florida election officials, alleging that the group discriminated against felons who could vote and created a climate of intimidation. The suit was filed in federal court today, and it claims that Ron DeSantis administration purposefully did not fulfill the requirements of the 2018 Amendment 4 to the state constitution, which restores voting rights for some convicted felons in the state. In the lawsuit, they said Florida has failed to realize that the promise of the Amendment 4. Since Amendment 4 was passed in 2018, the defendants have created and perpetrated a bureaucratic morass that prevents people with prior felony convictions from voting or even determining whether they are eligible to vote. And they also filed this lawsuit based on that election police. As we all know, honey, Ron DeSantis created the election police back in 2020, I believe, or maybe 2021, and in 2022, and they were formed to investigate illegal voting and other electoral crimes. And they claim that they have discriminated against Black people and targeted people who were impacted by Amendment 4. In the lawsuit, they say this effort, coupled with the earlier created roadblocks to registration, has turned the simple act of voting into a complicated and risky venture in the eyes of those who were re-enfranchised by Amendment 4, as well as others who have been affected by the defendant's conduct. The Florida Rights Restoration Coalition is a group that advocated for Amendment 4's passage. They brought the suit alongside 4 people who say that they were negatively impacted by Ron DeSantis and his anti-woke practices. I declare, honey, what a disgrace, baby. This right here, I hope that goes all the way to the bank, honey. Just like I hope they go ahead and get his ass for the migrants that he that he flew up there to Martha's Vineyard, where he was trying to play political theater. Y'all notice that his ass ain't did that no more now. Applehead Abbott, he continues to do it, but Ron DeSantis, he ain't participated in none of those shenanigans no more. You know why? Because he knew that shit was wrong. He knew it was wrong from the start, but he did it because he wanted to be with Applehead Abbott and he wanted to play political theater. Well, baby, you play pussy and you're gonna get fucked. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat, honey, because we got Dark Biden coming up. In fact, baby, I gotta play y'all my brand new intro because we got a new segment called Welcome to the Dark Brandon. Let's take a listen. Do y'all like my Dark Brandon Activate? I messed up the name. It's called Dark Brandon Activate, honey. And Dark Brandon was definitely activating today, or maybe it was later yesterday. But either way, honey, Dark Brandon activated, and he went ahead and activated Musty to the Must Pot Marjorie. I declare, honey, I loved it. I know she was upsetted to the highest level of upsettedness that she was used in one of President Biden's campaign ads. Oh, yes, honey. It's true. Busted to the President Biden actually used Mustard to the Mustpot Marjorie in one of his campaign ads, and it appears that she is giving him all kinds of compliments. Y'all go ahead and take a listen to President Biden's brand new campaign ad, courtesy of Musty to the Mustpot Marjorie.
Joe Biden had the largest public investment in social infrastructure and environmental programs that is actually finishing what FDR started, that LBJ expanded on, and Joe Biden is attempting to complete programs to address education, medical care, urban problems, rural poverty, transportation, Medicare, Medicaid, labor unions. And he still is working on it.
Players, that just happened this last weekend at CPAC. Mustard to the Mustpot Marjorie was up there outlining all of the things that President Biden, that she feels that President Biden has done wrong. But baby, President Biden done turned that against her, because that was all the things that President Biden has done right. And I'm going to go ahead and keep it a stack with you. I love this forum. All right, players, y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat. We have another situation, and we're going to lightly touch on this because we're running out of time. Baby, I went on and on. Grab your tea and have a seat. Let's talk about this next one. All right, players. So the federal government has opened an investigation into a Mississippi chicken plant after this 16-year-old boy, Devon Perez. He is from Guatemala, and he's been here for the past 6 years. He immigrated 6 years ago, and he died at a chicken plant in Mississippi. He wasn't supposed to even be working at this chicken plant. So this has sparked a federal investigation. They are opening an investigation into this Mississippi chicken plant after this 16-year-old boy died following a workplace accident there. The boy, again, was identified as Devon Thomas Perez, and he died on Friday night after becoming ensnared in a machine. He was cleaning at the Marjack poultry processing plant in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Now, Duvan immigrated to the United States from Guatemala roughly 6 years ago, according to the Immigrants Alliance for Justice and Equity. He actually immigrated through that nonprofit organization, and they support migrants in Mississippi. He was a student at N.R. Berger Middle School. Federal labor laws prohibit people under the age of 18 from operating and cleaning meat processing and packing equipment, which is the U.S. Labor Department defines as particularly hazardous. Mississippi State labor laws bans minors from even working in those packing plants. But according to a statement from that plant, they claimed that they were unaware of his age. They said that they relied on staffing companies to fill open positions because of the unprecedentedly tight labor market, and they were also supposed to verify every job applicant and that they are legally qualified to work. However, it feels like they are saying that this individual misrepresented his age. That's what it says in the statement. It said, it appears at this point in the investigation that Mr. Perez misrepresented his age on the paperwork. So in the past few years, honey, several states have introduced legislation making it easier for companies to put children to work. The states including Iowa, Ohio, and Arkansas have proposed and passed bills expanding work hours for these types of jobs. And also, if he was in the state of Arkansas, honey, it would have been totally illegal for him to work there, because I believe that age is now 14. I declare, honey, What a disgrace. So rest in peace to this boy. I'm sending my condolences out to the family. I really want to know what happened there. How was he able to get this job, and how long had he been working there? They did not say that in the statement. It's so very sad to see this. And then also that this 16-year-old boy had to felt like he had to work. There must have been something going on at home. And why wasn't he working at McDonald's? I mean, that seems more. I really hate to hear it. And again, my condolences go out to the family of this sweet boy, Perez. All right, players, y'all grab y'all tea and have a seat, because it's time for the last episode of the night. It's time to play stupid games so we can win a stupid prize. Players, it's time for another riveting episode of Play Stupid Games, Win Stupid Prizes. All right, players, I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So how many times have y'all had a best friend and you wanted to hang out with your best friend, honey, but when you called your best friend told you, girl, I got to go to work. Ain't no way I'm going to be able to hang out today because I got to go hit this time clock. I cannot come hang out with you today because I got to go to work. And you thought, man, I wish you could quit that job. I wish you would sing this song with me. Fuck this job. Fuck this job. I quit. Fuck this job because I don't really need this shit. Okay. How many times have you thought of that? Like you wanted them to just say, F this job. Come on, hang out with me. Well, baby, this 19-year-old baby in Missouri said, baby, I need my friend, to go ahead and say F this job. So, baby, he is now being accused of making a report of possible threats to a Ford assembly plant in Missouri on Tuesday night because he wanted his friend to not go to work. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Zachariah Peterson, who is 19, has been hit with a felony charge of making terroristic threats. Clay County prosecuting attorney Zachary Thompson said that on Wednesday, he called up to the Ford assembly plant and made threats. He actually swatted the building, and they had everybody evacuate the building, honey. Clay County prosecuting attorney said that the charge carries a maximum of sentence of 7 years in prison and a fine up to $10,000. On the call, Zachariah Peterson allegedly said that he was armed with an AK-47 and a pound of C4 explosives. The threat halted production at the facility for 6 hours and prompted the evacuation of 2,200 employees. It's unfortunate that this one person was able to do so much damage in one case. That's what the district attorney said. But we gonna hold his ass accountable. He didn't say that. I just added that in. But yeah, he played a stupid game, so he gonna win stupid prizes. Baby, he is currently locked up behind bars, being held on not a $10,000 bond, not a $20,000 bond, but $150,000 bond. Again, the charge carries up to 7 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. All because he wanted his friend to stay home so they can play Call of Duty. Oh, my God. Baby, well, hunty, he gonna win that stupid prize today. He has won that stupid prize today, because, baby, you gonna be locked up. They won't let you out. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Zach, you're 19. You're 19. You can live from it. You can grow from it. You can move on. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. All right, players. I really hope y'all enjoyed this brand new episode of The Real Tea with Double D as much as I enjoyed being with y'all tonight. Hey, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate y'all for riding and flying with your girl every single week. Make sure that you're following me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you go check out the podcast. If you want to re-listen to it, you can listen to it on YouTube. It is available wherever you stream your podcast. Thank you guys for riding and flying with me out there in podcasting world. And make sure y'all follow me so y'all can keep up with that day-to-day tea. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a precious night, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Real Tea with Double D. Remember to support by following on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And subscribe to the website to keep the tea piping hot at